How's it going, Rogues Gallery, and welcome to another Gundam card game video here on Red Zone Rogue. Today we're going to go over and review every single card in the beta edition of the Gundam card game. They have all been revealed and announced if you didn't see all of the other content creators posting about this yesterday. But I figured, hey, since I think this is going to end up being a game that I cover regularly as a main game for me personally, that we'll pitch in, give my thoughts on this, and I just kind of want to talk about it in general. So let's get started. I have a lot of Gundam card game stuff planned, including information and all the stuff that went down at the world premiere event, which will be soon. So stick around for that. But without further ado, let's go into our overlay and go over all of the cards. Now, they just dump them all on their website, and I'll have a link to this in the description down below, so you can go check it out yourself and check out all the cards if you would like to follow along or just see them for yourself. So let's get started. All right, what you're looking at here is basically the card and then a breakdown of all of the attributes, including the rarity, which will be up top. Here it says LR, and the little B means beta. It also tells you that you can get it at the edition beta here, as well as the show that it's from, which is pretty cool. And then the effects. So let's go over this. We've already talked about this card before, but we're gonna go over them again, just in case you haven't seen the other videos. So this is a pretty sweet card. This is your original RX 78-2 Gundam from the original UC Gundam timeline, level 4, cost 3. The way this works in the Gundam card game is that you need at least 4 resources to increase your level to 4, but it costs 3 to play. So yeah, it's a pretty easy concept once you kind of get what's going on. He has Gundam, it's a Gundam, is a 3/4 in terms of attack and defense. Earth Federation, white base team, of course, Space Earth. Has repair 2, so basically at the end of your turn he heals 2, which means that it's kind of got like this sustain, and then during pair, so if he's paired with a pilot, all of your other units get +1 AP, which is attack, which is pretty sweet. So it's a board pump, as well as it just keeps healing itself, which I think is just really, really solid. This one is a LR, which is like I think it's called like legendary rare or whatever, which is kind of like the higher rarities. Think of it like a mythic if you're into magic, a majestic, a super rare SSR kind of deal. So yeah, pretty cool. I think this card is pretty solid. And we also have the alternate art. So this is the LR Plus that also comes in the beta edition, and it's the same card, it's just different art, and this is going to be one of the big chase cards. All of the LR Pluses are going to be the big chase cards for the edition beta. There are 3 LRs and then 3 LR Pluses and other alternate arts as well. But you want the LR alternate arts. It does the same stuff. It's just alternate art. Looks awesome. Next up, we have Gundam Mobile Armor Mode, MA Mode. It's a level 5, 3 cost. When paired with a white base team pilot, you get a draw card, which seems pretty sweet. Other than that, it's a 4/3. So 4/3 for 3, you need to have at least level 5. It's a common card. It seems like an okay card. Drawing cards is generally really, really good. It feels like blue is going to be kind of the more control-y draw color. Who would have thought? So yeah, seems like a pretty sweet card. I dig it. 3 cost. Decent stats, kind of aggressive stats actually, and you get a draw card. Here is I believe this is pronounced Gem. This is actually one of like, you'd call it a grunt mobile suit for the Earth Federation force for the UC timeline. This is a pretty simple unit. It's just a 2/2 for 1, but you have to have at least level 2. Pretty kind of like a run-of-the-mill, normal statted unit. And we kind of see like what the baseline stats are for units in the Gundam card game. Obviously, a 2/2 for 1 is kind of like a base vanilla stat line. So yeah, pretty cool. Let's go. Oh, this is the Gundam Aerial Bit on Forms. This is from the Witcher Mercury. So this is a level 4 requirement, 2 cost, 3/4. That's it. Just a 2 cost, 3/4. You can kind of compare this stat wise to the 1 cost 2/2. So as you can see, definitely a bit of a beefier body. Keep in mind that damage is persistent in the Gundam card game, just like Shadowverse Evolve. If you are a fan of Shadowverse Evolve, I think a lot of your gameplay patterns and knowledge can transfer over to this game as well. And this is a white card, so pretty cool. Decently statted decently setted card here. We also have the Demi Trainer. This is a pretty simple level 1 cost 1/1. You know, pretty simple all around, but it has the blocker trait, which says you rest this unit to change an attack to target it. So the way the blocking and attacks work in this game is when you attack, you can attack your opponent directly, like their base, or you can attack one of their rested or activated, I guess rested mobile suits. Unless they have a blocker, then they can block, right? So not everything can block in this game. You need the specific keyword. Very much like Grand Archive in that regard, actually. A lot of the games that I mainline and play, a lot of the stuff can transfer over to this game. That seems pretty, kind of like a little, you know, staple little weenie blocker. Just a common card. Next up we have Amuro Ray. You're a new type boy. Level 4, 1 cost. I do like how a lot of the pilots are pretty low cost, but you have to have a high level. So it's kind of like a mid-game card. But the reason you want to have the low cost is because if you pair him with his like unit or mobile suit of choice, this would be like the original RX Gundam, then they basically gain haste and can attack the turn that they are played, as well as do their special link effects. You can have any pilot any mobile suit, and they will get the bonuses here, the +2/+1, but they won't get the extra bonus link effects unless you get the link effects. So yeah, he's a level 4, 1 cost. He's just a common card. Gives +2 attack and 1 defense to any mobile suit that he pilots. Burst, you add it to your hand. So if this is in your base, which is kind of like your life, think it in terms of like life cloth or prizes or whatever. A lot of games use cards as your life. Gundam is the same. And so when you take damage, you'll reveal the card, and if it has a burst effect, you do the burst effect. And so the burst effect is he just comes to your hand, which is pretty good. It also says, when paired, you choose one enemy unit with 5 or less HP and rest it, which seems pretty good. Yeah, seems pretty good all around. Pretty aggressive card, actually, because you can play your Gundam, play him, pair him up, rest the dude, and then smash on in, because it'll have haste. Let's see, we got Suletta Mercury from the Witch from Mercury. Once again, level 4 cost 1, but she gives +1/+2. Same kind of effect. Add this to your hand on the burst, and then she has a different kind of effect. She has an on attack. Once per turn, choose one of your resources and set it as active, which is really, really good. So she can kind of like sort of ramp you in a way, or give you like some additional resources back. The way the attacking and playing stuff works in the Gundam card game is you can do it, interchangeably. You can attack, you can play something, you can attack, or just having one of your resources active is really good for like your action speed effects, which is basically like your quick speed or your instance or whatever. All right, next up we have alternate art for Suletta Mercury. I haven't actually looked at every single one of these, so we're gonna see this together. Beautiful. I really like this. Yeah, C+. I did watch the folks on the Gundam card game official YouTube channel open up a beta kit, and they got 3 legendaries, but no alternate arts. So I think the alternate arts are going to be very, very chase. Very cool. We have a thoroughly damaged. It was Hayato. Poor dude. I remember the scene from the original Gundam series. So this is a pilot, but this pilot also has a ability as command as well, where if you look at Suletta, she is just the pilot, and she has her pilot effects. This one is a pilot and a command at the same time, so you get to pick which one that you want to do. So it's pretty versatile, right? So you can either play this as this card, Thoroughly Damaged, which says during your main phase, you choose one rested enemy unit and deal 1 damage to it. All right, a little bit of chip damage. Or you can also play this as Hayato here, which will give your mobile suit a +1. So, yeah, I really like these cards. I like how flexible they are, right? They can be a pilot or they can be an effect, which is pretty cool. The command cards are basically like your spell cards. You play them, and then they happen, and then they go away. Or the pilots stick around. Now we have Kai Shiden. Kai's Resolve is another command card, so it can be a command or it can be Kai Shiden. Kai Shiden's kind of the opposite. It looks like +1 attack instead of +1 defense. And it says main, choose one friendly unit and heal it for for 3 health, which is pretty cool. It's a level 3 or in a cost 1. So I kind of dig this card. Actually, I dig this more than Hayato here. Yeah, both of these characters appear in other Gundam series, which is kind of cool. I've watched almost all of the UC timeline, the UC timeline stuff. Oh, classic. We have white base. So this is level 3, cost 2. This is a base card. So when you start the game, you have kind of like a generic EX base that kind of like protects your life. Think about base as kind of like a shield for your life total. And your opponent can't deal you damage directly until they get through your base. You can only have 1 base at a time. So you can, a good strategy, maybe if you want to be defensive, is to keep playing bases as your opponent destroys them. So this is one of those bases. Burst, you deploy this card, which is pretty cool. So if it gets bursted, it immediately becomes a shield. However, when you deploy it, when you play it, you have to take one of your shields and add it to your hand. So it protects your life, but it also subtracts from your life as well, which I think is a good balancing mechanic. I think almost all the bases have that kind of mechanic. If they don't, they're probably cracked as hell. You can activate main once per turn, pay 2 resources, deploy 1 Gundam white base team, 3 attack, 3 HP token if you have 0 units in play, or you can deploy a gun cannon 2/2 if you have 1 unit in play, or you can deploy a gun tank 1/1 if you have 2 or more units in play. I think it's a pretty cool base. As a common card, it's pretty sweet. It just pumps out tokens. If you have no units, it can pump out a 3/3 Gundam token, which is pretty sweet. I dig it. I think it's cool. I mean, obviously they have to make the white base pretty good, right? Next up, we have the Astakasia School of Technology Earth House. I haven't seen Witch from Mercury yet, okay? So if I mispronounce anything from Witch from Mercury, that's why. It's on my watch list. I've watched a lot of Gundam, I just haven't watched a couple. I haven't watched every series. Anyway, this is another base card, level 2, cost 1 base. On burst, you deploy this card. On deploy, you add one of your shields to your hand, same kind of thing. This one's effect is activate during your main phase. You can rest the base, and all friendly Link units get +1 AP, which is great. So Link units are pilots that are piloting their specific mobile suit. And it tells you on the cards which ones are their specific mobile suits. I do want to mention the base has a health of 5. The health is persistent, like everything else. Damage is persistent. Same with the white base, health of 5. All right, we have the Wing Gundam. This is another one of the LRs. This is pretty cool. So this is, you have to have a level 6. It's a 4 cost. It's a 4/5 with breach 5, which is kind of just like trample. So it says, when this unit's attack destroys an enemy unit, deal a specified amount of damage to a card in that opponent's shield area, which is pretty sick. This unit may choose an active enemy unit that is level 4 or lower as its attack target. So it can actually just hit active stuff. This is great. This is a good, like, you want to like jam this and jam Hiro Yui at the same time. It does say here, like, this is your link. It also says on the card down here, this is your link pilot. You link Hiro Yui, you'll get that link effect from Hiro, and you also get the buff from Hiro, and you can basically have a haste. And so this is a great one. Just jam on in. And it also has one of the coolest LR plus alternate arts. This Wing Gundam LR is like rad as hell. This is like one of the ones I'm gunning for. Gundam Wing is the series that got me personally into Gundam when I was a kid. Probably a lot of you out there as well. It's not my favorite series anymore, but it still has a special place in my heart. So, yeah, this is awesome looking. Big fan of the Wing Gundam. Hey, speaking of which, we have Wing Gundam Bird Mode, level 3 cost, common card. It's just a 2/2 unit, and then it says deploy, place 1 EX resource, which is great. So it kind of gives you a temporary resource. So what an EX resource is it's like a normal resource, and it does count towards your level, but after you use it, it goes away. So I think there's some strategy there with like keeping some EX resources to artificially increase your level and then not using it. I think there's some strategy for that. This card seems really good. I think this is probably going to be a staple in green decks for sure. Common ramp type card for sure. Next up, we have a Maganak. Oh man, I remember these dudes from Gundam Wing. I used to play the old Gundam MS War card game. We had Maganaks all over the place. This is just a standard level 2 cost vanilla 3/2. A little bit of more attack than the one that we saw before. Then the gem. All right, here we have Hiro Yui. So this is the dude who pilots the Wing Gundam. Kind of a frustrating protagonist, to be honest. Anyway, he's a level 4, 1 cost. Burst, add it to your hand, gives a +2/+1, and it also has another effect. This unit gets +1 AP and 1 HP while linked, which is great. So if he's piloting the Wing Gundam while he's linked, then he gets the extra bonus, which is pretty good. A +3/+2 for 1 at common. Yeah, you definitely want to pump up your Wing Gundam and then just kind of like smash in, get that trample damage through. Yeah, seems like a pretty good strategy. I'm liking this kind of like green, ramp big stuff strategy. Here we have simultaneous fire, that it can also be Troa Barton. So this is one of the pilot / command cards. This is a level 4, cost 1. Main, so this is simultaneous fire. You can choose one of your units. It gets breach 3 during this turn, so it basically gives trample, which is pretty sweet. Or it can be a just +1/+1 Troa, which he's gonna definitely link up with the heavy arms. All right, let's see what do we got. We got Catra Rabarbra Winner, as well as the Peace Tombra. This is another one of those command pilot cards. So for the command action, action basically means you can play it during any action phase. You can play it on your opponent's turn. Action basically means like quick speed, whereas main means you can only play it on your turn during your main phase. Action means you can play it at any phase. So it says during this battle, your shield area cards can't receive damage from enemy units that are level 4 or lower. So it's kind of like a fog effect. And then the pilot is a 1/1 or +1/+1 Catra, and he's going to be piloting the Sandrock, right? I said that right, Sandrock. I'm trying to remember if I remember all the Gundam names correctly. He's got the big giant Kopesh looking things. So this is a St. Gabriel Institute, level 2, cost 2. Burst, deploy the card. This is another base, and then also deploy. Add 1 shield to your hand. Then look at the top 2 cards of your deck and return 1 to the top and 1 to the bottom. So it's kind of like a nice little, it's a nice little thing, a little card selection, I suppose. Still has a health of 5, pretty consistent among all the base cards. Here we have a basic Zaku 1. I like how the green Zaku is a green card, by the way. I just calling it. That's just a level 1, cost 1, 1/2 Zaku. I'd rather have a 2/1. I like the damage more, but having the extra health in a game where damage is persistent is pretty good. Gives you something to heal. Here we just have I just called it a Zaku 1. Yeah. I was like, did I call it a Zaku 2? No, here is the Zaku 2. Zaku 2, same stats, level 2, cost 1 though, or level 2 though, cost 1, same stats, and attack. This unit gets +2, which is great. So it's worse on defense, right? If your opponent is attacking into it, it's only a 1/2. But if it's attacking, it's a 3/2, which is pretty solid. I actually like this guy. I think this is going to be a very playable, aggressive card. Next up, we have my boy, Char Aznable, or Char. Listen, I've heard it pronounced literally both ways in the anime dub, so Char. He's the Red Comet. He's one of my favorite characters. Level 3, cost 1. This one is a pilot. Just a pilot. So burst, add it to your hand, and then on attack during this turn, this unit gets +1 AP. If it's a link unit, it gains high maneuver, which means it can't be blocked. So if he's piloting, his like the Char Zaku or whatever, maybe they'll add what's it called? Maybe they'll add that sweet red one from Char's counterattack. I'll think of it later. It's got an awesome name. I want to get Gunpla of it. Anyway, seems pretty good. 1 drop, +1/+1, that also gives you high maneuver, which means it can't be blocked. So +1/+1 and unblockable and an additional attack. So it'd be +2/+1 and unblockable if he's piloting one of his signature cards. Yo, I think Char is like real good, which makes sense. Char is like, S tier character. He's never betrayed anyone in his life. Here's the Char alternate art that I've seen a lot of people meme about and joke about, that he's pregnant because the helmet looks like it's part of his suit. Unfortunate coloring there. I think they tried to do their best job, this is pretty cool. I'll be happy with a Char alternate art for sure. We have the Falmel. This is a level 3 2 cost base. Burst, deploy the card, and then deploy, add a shield to your hand. Then if it's your turn, deploy 1 rested Char Zaku 2, which is a 3 attack, 1 HP token. This is good. I really like this card. This is a base that gives you a 3/1 unit, which I think is very, very good. You don't get it on defense, unfortunately, because you only get the 3/1 Sharizaku 2 if it's your turn. But still, I like this one a lot. Next up, we have the other LR. So this is the Owl Strike Gundam. This is from Gundam Seed. It's a level 5, 4 cost, 4/4. So 4 cost, 4/4 seems pretty good. It also is a blocker, which is pretty good. And it says, when paired with a level 4 or higher pilot, which we've seen a lot of level 4 or higher pilots, choose one enemy unit with 4 or less HP and return it to its owner's hand. So this is a really good tempo card, tempo and defense card. I think this one is pretty solid if you're playing a deck that wants to be a little bit more controlling. So this is your controlling unit too. Also, it could be aggressive as well. You know, you can pair it, bounce an enemy unit to the hand, and then crash in for damage if it has the Kira Yamato link, which is really cool. So yeah, you can be both offensive and defensive with this card. I like it. Yeah, especially with that blocker. Now we have the alternate arc for the Owl Strike Gundam. This one's wild. Look at this. It's got this iconic like battle damage here. I don't know if I like it as much as the other two. I think I like the other two more as far as the LR plus, but it's still pretty cool. Now we have just the regular old Strike Gundam. I like this card. It's a level 4, 2 cost, 3/3 that has deploy, draw a card, discard a card. So you get a loot on play. It's a 3/3. Yeah, seems pretty good. I don't know. I like it. Yeah, I dig it. Now we have the Strike Dagger, level 2, 2 cost, 3/2. Pretty standard stats, pretty standard unit, kind of, you know, going into it. I don't know. It's not too bad. I like the Zaku a little bit better. The 1/2 Zaku that gets a pump when it attacks is only a 1-drop, because you can kind of pair that easier with pilots to make it a little bit better. But I don't know. I think this one's still really solid. A little bit costs more, but you know, it always has that 3 attack, so obviously better on defense than the Zaku. Here we have the Kira Yamato. This is the pilot. He gets a +2, +1, level 4, 1 cost. Once again, a lot of these stats are similar. First, add it to your hand. And then on attack, choose one enemy unit, and it gets -2 AP during this battle. So once again, you know, white end up being kind of more on the controlling side of things. With a lot of, like, you know, defensive cards like blocking and like reducing attack power. This seems pretty good. I think Kira is like quite good. Yeah, reducing the AP in a game with persistent damage, so you can kind of get free attacks in, cleaning up the board, have like board control. This just screams board control. It's very good. Next we have the this is a double one. This is a command card and Mula Flaga, which is just a +1/+0. So the Hawk of Endymion, sure. Main phase or action, which is great, so you can do this at instant speed. Choose an enemy unit with 3 or less HP, return it to its owner's hand. I think this card is insanely good. This is probably a must-have staple card for white. 1-drop that can either be a little +1 unit, or it can just be like, boom, bounce your thing. It's very good. Yeah, you can bounce during attack step too. So like after they've played all their stuff, they can attack. You can kind of get them like you would in Magic, which I think is solid. Here we have the Archangel. This is a level 3, 1 cost base. Similar things. First, deploy it, add a shield to your hand, and you can activate this during your main phase, once per turn for a cost of 2. Return 1 friendly unit with blocker, or choose one friendly unit with blocker, set it as active, it can't attack during this turn, which is interesting. So I think the way you can do this is you can attack with something, and then activate it, and it becomes you set it as active with this card, but it just can't attack again. So I think this is a way to just make it so that you can block with your blocker, because you have to actually activate your blocker. Or you have to rest your blocker. Active is when it's up, rest is when it's down. Anyway, I think this is a decent defensive card. 1-drop base seems pretty good. Here we have a Gun Cannon, classic, level 3, 2 cost. This one has repair 1. And it says, when paired, choose one enemy unit with 2 or less HP and rest it. This seems pretty good. Like a pretty good, you know. Yeah, it seems pretty good. It's good at killing stuff, I think. Because you can rest your enemy unit. You can either use that as an opportunity to attack their base if the unit had blocker. or you can use it as an opportunity to kill the unit. And this one has repair, so yeah, it heals itself at a turn. So this seems like a pretty solid rare. This is a rare card. Next up we have, oh, this is the alternate art gun cannon. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Gun cannon is a very iconic mobile suit, part of the white base team. Ooh, here's the Gundam Unicorn. This is a level 5 4 cost. So during paired, so if it's paired, and when it's destroyed, if it's a link unit, return its paired pilot to its hand, then discard one. So if you basically have Banneker links on this dude, and when this dies, you get your Banneker back, which is pretty good. And it's a 4-drop 4/3 that just basically saves its pilot, and you have to discard a card. It seems all right. It could be really good. It's hard to evaluate this one in particular. I guess it depends on how good Banneker ends up being. Here you have the Gun Tank, level 2, 1 cost, pretty simple card, 1/2. Deploy, choose a rested enemy unit, deal 1 damage to it. Sure, it's like a free little point of damage. I'm not sure how good this one's gonna be, but yeah, it seems all right. 1 cost, 1/2, ping your opponent's aggressive stuff. Yeah, also a very classic mobile suit as well. We have the G Fighter. So this is a level 3, cost 2. Deploy, it's a 3/2, so good stats. And deploy, choose one of your white base team units. It gains high maneuver until end of turn, so you give it unblockable, which I think is really good. I think this card's pretty solid. Good stats. We've seen a lot of 3/2s for 2, but this one just has like a really good ability on play. Gives one of your white base dudes unblockable. I think this card's really good. Probably a 3 of in the deck that you play it. We have Lotto. It's simple. 2-drop, or level 2, 2 cost, 2/2. And not as quite as aggressive as the 1-drop 2/2, but I'm sure you're gonna find some uses for it. Next up, we just have Gundam. This is the RX 78-2 classic Gundam. This is the level 4, 2 cost. It's just a 3/4. 2 cost 3/4. You have to have level 4 though, but good solid stats for sure. Your Chillwind Yeti. There's Ball. I think Ball's actually pretty good. It's a level 1, cost 1, 1/1, and then on attack, you choose one of your units and you heal it for 1. It does make the Ball vulnerable because you have to attack with the Ball. But if you're playing this in like a white-blue deck where you can protect Ball, I don't know. It seems good. I like Ball. People like Ball. We have Jegan. I don't know how to pronounce this one. I think it's Jegan. Anyway, I watched Unicorn and subtitles, not dubbed, so you know. Anyway, is it even dubbed? I don't know. Anyway, we have level 3 cost 2. While you have 2 or more Earth Federation units in play, this card in your hand gets minus 1 cost. So this could be a 1-drop 2/3, which can be pretty solid. You do need your Earth Federation card, so this is going to be like in a themed style deck. But 1-drop 2/3 seems like a good stat line. Here we have the Rezel. This is level 3, 2 cost, 4/3. Good, actually really good stat lines. 2 cost 4/3 is really solid and very aggressive stat line as well. This seems quite good for a vanilla card. You need to have that level 3, but only the 2 cost is good. Ooh, we have Char Zaku 2, level 3, 2-drop. I really like this card. So it's got those good stats. So it's a 3/2 for 2. But if you pair it and it's destroyed, so if basically if Char is piloting it, you deploy 1 rested Char Zaku 2. So you basically get another one. If this Zaku 2 gets destroyed, it actually just says during pair. It doesn't say during link. I'll have to look closer to differentiate between the nomenclature there, but it is during pair. When it's destroyed, you get a 3/1. I love this card. This card's great. Yeah, this card's fantastic. Definitely gonna be playing this. Definitely gonna be making like a Char green, some sort of green, maybe green-blue Char deck. Oh yeah. Ooh, this is the alternate art for the Char Zaku 2. Very cool. That's absolutely iconic. A red comet mobile suit itself. Yeah, this is sick. This is definitely one of the ones. If I'm not gonna get a LR plus, I want the Char Zaku 2. It's sick. Here he is, the Sandrock. I said it right. I said Sandrock before, right? Anyway, here's the Sandrock. Level 5, only costs 3, so it's a 4/4 for 3, but you have to have level 5. And on deploy, you can deploy a Maganat core unit card from your hand. which seems really good. You definitely have to build around it. You definitely need to have, you know, your Magnat core, and you need your Sandrocks, but it seems like a good kind of like swarm style strategy. Any card that lets you play more cards and like cheat costs is always really good in card games. So this is probably quite strong. Next up we have the Rickdom. This has Breach 2, so this is kind of has that trample, right? Which I think is quite good. So it's a level 3, 2 cost 3/3 with Breach. I think it's a really solid card for sure. Next up we have the Gelgoog. Gelgoog is a level 4, 2-drop, 4/3. This is the Xeon trait. Yeah, just a well-statted unit. You do need to have that level 4, but overall, I don't think it's too bad at all. Next up, we have the Gundam Heavy Arms that I mentioned before, piloted by Trowa Barton. So this is a level 4, 2 cost, is a 3/4, and during pair, this unit gets Breach 3. So if it's paired, it'll get that kind of like trample style effect, which I think is pretty solid. As a 2-drop, 3/4, pretty good, but you do need it at a higher level, which means that you can probably drop this and, you know, equip them with your Trowa Barton, pilot them up with your Trowa Barton to kind of get that haste and the Breach 3, which is probably pretty solid. I think this card's all right. Next up we have just the plain old Wing Gundam. The art on this looks incredible. Level 5, 2-drop, 4/3. Good stats, but you need to have that level 5. I'm not sure how playable this one is going to be in constructed. If there's limited formats, this is probably going to be decent enough. But if you can kind of like artificially increase your level with like the Wing Gundam, like the bird mode, I don't know, it could be good. It's a really well-statted unit. Next up we have the Shenlong Gundam. We have more Gundams from Gundam Wing. So it's a level 4, 3 cost, 4/3. This one just straight up has Breach 3. So we can see green having like this kind of like trample mechanic. Green seems to be quite aggressive. I like this card. I think it's all right. Just has that natural Breach in it. And next up we have really awesome looking rare Perfect Strike Gundam. This is a level 5, 3-drop, 4/4. Great stats. It has blocker, and on deploy, choose an enemy unit with 1 HP, return it to its owner's hand. So you can kind of get a little cheeky bounce a little dude. But it being a 4/4 blocker for 3 seems good. Seems good in kind of like these late game decks where you want to get to like level 5+. Yeah, this card seems pretty good. I like this one. Next up we have the Gundam Aerial. Very cool Gundam. This is a level 5, 3 cost, 3/3, and it says while there are 4 more command cards in your trash, this card in your hand gets cost -2. So it could be a 1-drop 3/3. Seems like another one of those cards you can drop a bunch of them, which is pretty cool. And if you have like Suletta Mercury, you can kind of give them a haste. I don't know. Seems cool as this one as well. I'm saying that a lot, but I think any of these cost reduction cards are likely going to be useful to some degree. Just generally speaking in card games, good thing to have. And then we have the alternate art Gundam Aerial, which looks awesome. Like actually one of the coolest looking alternate arts. So I would be very happy getting this one as well. Next up we have the Launcher Strike Gundam. This is a level 4, 3 cost, 3/4 with blocker. Pretty kind of, you know, standard stats here. You do need to get the level 4, but a 3 cost, 3/4 with blocker seems like a pretty good unit. Yeah, especially if you are pairing this with other ones that let you heal. Yeah, seems kind of annoying. I think this will see a lot of early play for sure. Now we have the Daryl Balda. This is a level 3, 2 cost, 4/2. On deploy, choose an enemy unit with 1 HP, return it to its owner's hand. So we can kind of see like this these recurring mechanics, like bounce a small dude. Very aggressive unit at 4/3 stat lines. We'll have to see how this kind of plays in the white decks. White seems, to me, overall a little bit more controlling, a little bit more defensive. This is a very offensive card. We have Michaelis, level 2, or level 3, cost 2, 3/3. And then while there are 4 more command cards in your trash, this unit gets +1/+1. So this is another kind of like a theme, I guess you could see, of white cards where they care about stuff in their trash. And this one cares about command cards in the trash, and it gets +1/+1. Being a 4/4 for 2 seems quite good, actually. I think the Michaelis, I don't know. This card seems good. This seems like a card that might just kill you. Yeah, 2-drop 4/4. Oh, it's only level 3 as well. Yeah, you need the command cards though, so I guess maybe you need a high quantity of command cards. Here we have Strike Gundam. This is another vanilla level 4, 2 cost, 3/4. Sure. You need the level 4, but this could be another situation where you can, if you have level 4, you can drop your straight Gundam and then Akira to give it haste and the bonuses. You kind of have a big turn with that. We have the N1 Astray. This is a level 2, cost 2, 2/2. Good, kind of good stat lines. And then when you have another Triple Ship Alliance unit in play, it gets +1 AP and blocker, which is not bad. So it becomes a 3/2 blocker, so kind of like more of an aggressive blocker. But for only 2 costs, if you're playing this kind of style deck, this card seems quite good. Next up, we have Banagher Lynx, level 5 pilot, 1 cost. He gives +2/+2. So, you know, some of the biggest stats we've seen so far outside of Char. Burst, add it to your hand, and when it's paired, if it's linked, draw 1 card. Yeah, I think when paired doesn't mean it has to be linked, because it specifies here if it's linked. So if you link this to Gundam Unicorn, you can draw a card, which actually makes sense now that the Unicorn's effect was like you bounce your pilot back to your hand. So if it's Banagher, you can bounce your Banagher back to your hand and then play him again later on a different Unicorn to like draw a card or something. I don't know. He seems good. Level 5 though, but he seems quite good. And we have the alternate art for Banagher Lynx, very, very cool. Another one that I would be very happy to get. I do like Gundam Unicorn. We have is it Rita? How you pronounce his name? Rita Marcenas. This is just a pilot, level 3 pilot, cost 1, +1/+1, and then burst added to your hand like a lot of the pilots do. And if this unit has repair, it gets +1 AP, which is pretty good. So you can put this on like just the regular Gundam, like, or the LR Gundam, give it an extra 1 AP, make it a +2/+1 for 1 cost. I don't know, that doesn't seem too bad. Maybe a little bit corner case. We have Chang Wufei, level 4, cost 1, +2/+1, pretty good stats on that. Burst added to your hand, and then during your turn, if this unit has breach, it can't receive battle damage from units with 3 or less AP. Once again, I think this card is really good at just killing other dudes, and it will have breach. Well, supposedly have breach. So if you're building like some sort of breach green deck, which I think I'm kind of leaning towards, Chang Wufei could be quite good. Yeah. We have Ghoul Jeturk. So this one is level 3, 1 cost, +1/+1, burst added to your hand, and you can activate on your main once per turn. If your opponent has 8 or more cards in their hand, set this unit as active. It can't attack during this turn. Unit means the mobile suit, right? So you can basically make your mobile suit active so you can block, essentially, is what I'm getting from this card. Your opponent needs to have 8 cards in their hand. It is pretty situational, maybe like a sideboard card or something like that. Next up we have, oh hey, it's Captain Bright Noah. So anyway, intercept orders. This is a level 4, 2 cost. This is a command card, only a command card, not one of the pilot commands. Burst. You can choose an enemy with 5 or less HP and rest it, which seems pretty good, especially like on defense. So if you get it on the burst, you can rest one of the units that could attack you. And then on main phase or action, choose 1 to 2 enemy units with 3 or less HP and rest them. This card seems really, really good. I think this card's fantastic. It's only a 2-drop too. Yeah, intercept orders is great. A Show of Resolve. This is another great card that I'll be playing with a lot because it's very simple. Main phase, draw 2 cards. 3-drop, draw 2 cards. Yep, if you're playing the late game, if you're getting up there 5, 6, 7 points or resources, yeah, just a nice little card draw. With what did she go by? Audrey? Oh, we have an alternate art. Well, yeah, this is, you can kind of see how she's maybe not all that she appears to be. Spoilers for like the first 2 episodes of Gundam Unicorn, I guess. Citizens, take a stand. Another Zabi here. So this is a level 4, 1 cost. Burst, add it to your hand. There's another command card. A main, all your units gets +2 AP. So this is kind of like your overrun effect. It only costs 1. It only costs 1. You do need the level 4, but whew, this card's good. This card's real good. I want to play a full playset of this card in this green deck, hypothetical green deck that I'm building in my head. First Contact, classic scene, level 3, 3 cost. Burst, place 1 EX resource, which is really good. And then main, place 1 rested EX resource, which is also really good. Another big ramp card. I will also be playing with this card. for sure. Burst ramp, main ramp, it's great. This card's great. And there's the alternate art. Beautiful alternate art for the first contact. I do like this one. I do like this one because you know what's going to happen. Next up, we have the Witch and the Bride. This is another command card, level 5, 2 cost. Burst, activate this card's main. And so it says main or action, choose an enemy unit with 5 or less HP, return it to its owner's hand. So this is a 2-drop bounce that can almost bounce anything in the game, but you have to have level 5. So it's definitely more of a late game, late game style card. But you can do it during action as well. I think in white decks, this is going to be a staple. At least for the time being. I think this card's very good. It's almost unconditional removal. I think this card's also incredibly good. Possibly one of the best cards in the set, to be honest. Overflowing Affection is a level 2 1 cost, so very, very easy to play. And then it's only during main phase, but it's just draw 2, discard 1. That's incredibly good. Like, being able to draw 2, so you're up a card, and then discarding one's actually not that bad because there's all those white cards that care about stuff in your cemetery. So I think this card's really, really good. Yeah, I think it might be one of the best ones in the set. I feel like this is kind of the kind of card that we'll see play for years if the game keeps going that long. Anyway, the alternate art. This will be definitely one of the big chase cards, I think, outside of the LRs. I think this is going to be a real big one. Next up, we have Naval Bombardment. Level 2, 1 cost, command. Burst, select an enemy unit. It gets -3 AP for the turn. So once again, pretty good defensive burst. And then on action, choose a friendly unit with blocker. It gets +3 AP. So this is kind of double kind of thing. You can pump up your blocker to do more damage on an attack. You can pump up your blocker because it's on action to do more damage on defense or as a burst defense. I think this card's also quite good. It's a common. This feels like a staple to me. We have Side 7. Oh, absolute classic. Episode 1 of the original UC Gundam. Level 1, cost 1 base. It's only a 4 health base. Burst, deploy, add one of your shields to your hand, and then activate during main phase. You can rest the base to heal one of your units 1 HP. Yeah, seems alright. 1-drop base. Seems actually pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, I like the cheap bases. Only has 4 HP, but I don't know. Seems pretty good. And then now, I think that's all of the main cards. Now we just have the tokens. So you can, here's the Gundam token that the white base makes, your 3/3 Gundam token. Here's your gun cannon token that the white base makes, your 2/2 gun cannon. And here's the 1/1 gun tank that the white base token makes. We have the Sharzaku 2 that the Sharzaku 2 makes. It's a 3/1. And then we have the EX base, which is just your starter base that both players get when it starts in play. We have your EX resource, which is, your resource. So this one looks kind of shiny. Do we have a different one? Yeah, I think... Oh, no, this is the EX resource. And here's your regular resource. And then there's our shiny resource. Oh, yeah, it is. C+. It's a C+ resource. I think this is going to be another one that people will really want to get, like the shiny resource. And then here is promo EX base. How do you get this EX base? Yo, I want this promo EX base though. All right, well, it says edition beta early trial event. Ah, cool, very cool. Does it say how to get this one? Edition beta. Okay, these are just like things you get in the beta edition. Okay. I don't know about this one. This one's cool. And then we're back at the top with the Gundam. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for watching, everyone. How long was this? I don't even know. 40 minutes. It is a little bit of a longer one, but that is going over every single card in the beta edition. I think there's the makings of some really fun decks here. Obviously, the card pool isn't super great. I think it was like 80 cards or something like that currently available to see. 84 cards, and I think that's including the alternate art. So there's like less than 80 cards currently available, but I think that's enough to kind of formulate some decks. Like I said, I really want to make this green like pump deck and ramp, and then maybe I'll attach maybe blue to it so I can draw some cards. I'm thinking. I'm cooking up some stuff. Yeah, I think maybe blue green maybe. Anyway, very cool stuff. Let me know what you think of all of the Gundam stuff in the comment section below. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that, and yeah, stay tuned for some more Gundam card game content here on Red Zone Rogue. We'll see you later, everyone.